Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
Because I just went gay all of a sudden.
Paps Blue Ribbon!
I'm Charles Foster Kane.
Snap out of it!
Ahoy, sexy!
It's showtime, folks.
What is up, Criteria Cats? This is Criteria Cast, your number one podcast for discussions on movies nobody's heard of that make us feel smarter for having seen them. I am your host, AJ.
I'm that other host, Gabe.
And I'm your other host, Noah.
Today we are looking at the 1950 Shouty Actor Showcase All About Eve. The movie tells the story of an aging actress played by Bette Davis who befriends up-and-coming actor Eve Harrington, only to have her new friend start to outshine her. And here to talk all about Eve is an up-and-coming actor in her own right. You've seen her on stage and screen. Now get ready to listen to 2 hours of her shooting the shit with us. It's Samantha Georgette Reed.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, thank you for attaching your name to this forever.
You're so welcome. Someday they'll look back and they'll say her shining moment was this podcast.
Or at least whenever they Google your name, we're in like the top 5 results. That's what I hope for every guest we have on.
Yeah. We're going to drag you down with us slowly, your career down to our level.
It's like the closest you can get to the Criterion Closet without being like goated. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of, Sammy, what's your relationship with the Criterion Collection?
Oh, I didn't think you were going to ask that question.
I'm thinking about phasing it out, but I already asked it. It's in the air.
You really said put Sammy on the spot right now. My relation with the Criterion Collection is almost none. I know that it exists and I know what it is, and that is about it.
Honestly, that's probably the healthiest answer to that question.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like, you're definitely better than us for this.
You're saying that. I was like, no, good, awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I want.
I did it.
That was probably more
sick. We're sick, all of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we're talking about All About Eve today. Before I get into the plot summary, do we want to give some general thoughts?
Fantastic. It was a nice little. I don't want to say it was like probably one of the most acclaimed movies of its like era, or its like run at the Grammys. I don't know.
Eve is so scary, man. She's so scary. She scared me. I was not comfortable watching her, which was like awesome, because like that tells you how good of a job she was doing.
I really thought that this was like gonna be how it was when I started to try making it in the industry. I really thought that like I was gonna wait outside a stage door and somebody was gonna bring me in and then I was gonna steal their life. So I'm still kind of waiting on if that's gonna happen or not. It's TBD. But yeah, I loved this movie.
Do you have a celebrity inspiration that you feel like you could probably do this to?
That's a good question, because I feel like it has to be somebody who's kind of in my similar typecast, which I feel like usually I get like I feel like I could steal Elizabeth Gillies's life really well, but she's like, I could really go on and like take it from her, but I won't, but I could.
You could definitely be on Victorious, and Elizabeth Gillies will come back later in this episode. That's foreshadowing. All right, I'm going to run through the plot briefly for all our Criteria Cats who are too lazy to turn on a fucking movie. You sacks of flour. All right, so Margot Channing is a Broadway star. Margot Channing, played by Bette Davis, is a Broadway star who has recently turned 40 and worries about what her advancing age will mean for her career. And after a performance of Margot's latest play, Margot's close friend Karen, played by Celeste Holm, the wife of the play's author, played by one of the guys, brings in a besotted fan, that's on Wikipedia, I don't know what the fuck that means, but besotted fan Eve Harrington to meet Margot. From there, Margot adopts / hires / befriends Eve to do all her grunt work, basically an assistant. I know like 3 or 4 people who do those for C-list celebrities in my own life right now. And yeah, Eve slowly starts to like go above and beyond basically what the job description is. She's sending gifts at midnight. She's remembering things for Margot. She's eventually taking on a role she's playing. And yeah, there's a lot more stuff, but let's start with the fucking the lead characters, Betty Davis and Ann Baxter, tearing it up.
Yeah, apparently hating each other while they're doing it too. Or was that
I heard that, I think, when I was doing my research before I did this, and I love nothing more than two actresses playing characters who hate each other and then they also start to hate each other. That like really fulfills a part of my psyche. So
Interesting.
Yeah, Betty Davis was definitely no stranger to that either. Like, Feud. Ryan Murphy had a whole series out of Betty Davis's shenanigans behind the scenes, but she did have a few choice words for one of the actresses in this movie, but I'll save that for trivia about Eve.
is it life imitating art, or is she just really disagreeable?
I think it's probably a lot of the second, maybe a teaspoon of the first.
I mean, wouldn't they be the same though? Because she's a disagreeable ass bitch in this as well. So I feel like there's a certain level of like,
Yeah.
they said, yeah, Betty Davis would be good for this movie.
Yeah, no, I immediately thought, I was like, oh, this must have been written for her, but she was like the 10th actress they went to, which is so wild because this is just her persona at the time, basically.
Yeah, y'all totally have me thinking that they went like, oh yeah, she sucks. Let's give her.
Just a vehicle for like how she's like really annoying.
Yeah.
I do love that type of casting when directors are like low-key kind of not necessarily being nice to the actor when they cast them in that role. Like they're a little bit making fun of Tom Cruise and Eyes Wide Shut being one that we've talked about before.
Right.
But yeah, Betty Davis, one of my favorite performances ever. Loved this movie, like 80% because of her. She is doing laps around almost every other actor. She is carrying this shit on her. Both of these men, the two men I strip, could not tell them apart most of the time. I was like, is this the playwright or the director? They should be ashamed to share a screen with Betty Davis in this. Like, it's embarrassing.
There was a really like telling line. I feel like right at the beginning, the critic said when he was doing his whole big dramatic narration at the beginning, he was like, the minor awards are for the writer and director. Their job is to construct a tower upon which the world can applaud the light of the actor. I wrote it down because I was like, I'm coming back to this. And that rang so true. I was like, these men are the most irrelevant people in the world.
Yeah, you can throw that back into a director's face and just be like, all right, who are they coming to see?
It's all about Eve, you know?
It's all about Eve.
Yeah, he even says that in the speech. It's going to be all about Eve.
Dude, that off the bat, off where to go, Addison DeWitt is the most hate-inducing human being I've ever seen put to screen.
He's such a bitch.
No one has ever made me just recoil like with fucking disgust in this scene. Within literally 2 minutes, I'm like, fuck this guy. I fucking hate him.
There was this one moment where he was flirting with Eve in the dressing room and she was like, I'll let you be in charge or something. And he was like, and I had to pause the movie. I was like, I gotta take a moment. I gotta take a break.
It's just like skin unzip out.
I feel like even the name choice, Addison DeWitt.
That is the perfect name for that type of character. Yeah. Like, Addison DeWitt.
Just a snobbish fucking twat. Like it just every essence of him is a
You're really fuming, Gay. Wow.
Dude, off the bat, I hated every character I was introduced to. I Betty Davis grew on me, but obviously like Addison never, just a fucking stain in this movie. He's perfect.
Yeah. That's George Saunders, famous British. I was gonna say British-ish character actor. He was the voice of Shere Khan in the original Jungle Book. Like Mowgli, yes. Yeah, so I didn't mention the critic, Addison DeWitt. So he starts to catch on to Eve that she's full of shit because he's a know-it-all who knows every single theater in the country, apparently. And he catches her in a lie. Meanwhile, he's got this like up-and-coming star he's trying to make as well in Marilyn Monroe. And one of her first ever roles, like, again, very perfect casting. But she doesn't quite show up when she's needed. She pukes during an audition, leaving Eve to steal the spotlight and the attention of Addison DeWitt, who narrates most of this in his snobby Britishish accent. And how did we feel about the performance of Addison DeWitt?
Got a
Save the
question.
character, Gabe.
Was this before or after Asphalt Jungle?
I'm gonna have to look that up.
I feel like it was before because I'm trying to remember what the earliest Marilyn Monroe roles were because there's Asphalt Jungle, there's this one, and then there's like a couple random.
It
ones.
is the same year.
Same year. Okay, word.
So I want to cook on Addison real quick. He is like, I mean, the actor and obviously the character. I mean, it's a perfect performance because, you know, and the character Addison DeWitt is just so hateable. Like, honestly, like Darth Vader enters a screen and you're like, oh man, this guy's a bad guy. You can tell, but you don't hate Darth Vader. You're scared of Darth Vader. I hate this character. You know, like he's a villain that you're meant to hate, not one that's meant to instill fear, but disdain. It's perfect.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, I really, really loved the performance of that man because of how terrible the like character made me feel the entire time. I was like, he must be doing a good job. It must be doing the right thing because I hate this guy.
Yeah, he has the same like snobby kind of I know better than you and I'm going to ruin your life. He reminds me of a lot of choreographers we had in high school, and I'm sure you might have had the same experience, Sammy, but just like know-it-alls kind of queens who are like, I'm going to do whatever I want because I'm the most important person here.
Motherfuckers.
Dude, I love in his introduction, he says, I serve a critical role for the theater or I'm a critic. I keep them in line. It's like, dude, you're a parasite. You're a glorified parasite. And it's kind of ironic because that's kind of what we do. But like, come on, like.
Are we officially critics? Can we be verified on Rotten Tomatoes?
We're really yeah, we should be. We're really here for the banter.
Instagram verification for like $13.
Yeah, no.
Dude, we could do Twitter for like $8. Let's verify what are we, Criteria Casts?
Yeah.
It's just
the distinction is that like we don't take our own opinion seriously. That's the make or break is if you actually care about your own opinion.
Dude, everything I say is always right, and AJ feels the same.
All right, hush up. So there's a mishap with a car. Margot's friend like breaks the gas thing or whatever, and so they get stranded. Eve has to take on the role. She kills it. There just happens to be a bunch of critics there that night. Eve starts to overtake Margot. She takes another role for Margot, which was written for Margot, but it was like also written for a 25-year-old, which I would be like, yo, playwright friend, come on, you know me, like. Whatever. Then skip forward a little bit to what was the wraparound. They're at a trophy ceremony. I don't remember which one, but Eve's getting a trophy for being such a good actor. She goes up to her room and she finds that there is an Eve 2 in the room, but her name is Phoebe. And it's circular and it's going to keep going around, and that's what this fucking show business does to people.
And it ends with me. I'm the next one. I'm finding Phoebe's replacement, and I'm gonna take her spot.
All about Sammy.
All about Sammy.
I like that.
I would go see that.
That could be your TikTok handle, all about Sammy.
That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Dude, this is kind of like a cool twist on the just doppelganger story, you know? Like, except for she's not like an actual doppelganger, she's just another actress. So like, I don't know, like Black Swan was based off of The Double by I think Dostoevsky. That was like literally this story was like this girl who wants to become this other woman and like replace her in her life and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like it was a very familiar story, but that added to the element of like, yep, we've seen her before and we'll see her again.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. That's just clever. It's clever. It's subtle, like clever. I like it.
Yeah, it's like A Star Is Born. That's kind of a similar vibe where, one star must fall for another to rise.
Or like Taylor Swift's iconic masterpiece song, Nothing New, where she says that she's going to meet the next her. It's a fever dream and then she's like, I'll say I'm happy for her, and then I'll cry myself to sleep. And that's my Taylor Swift requisite reference for the podcast.
Honestly, that's actually kind of a cool. I never thought I'd say this, but that's kind of a cool Taylor Swift song.
You know what? Now that I have you on, I'm just gonna make my bold claim. I like Taylor Swift. I've put up with the naysaying for years. I do. I buy Addie an album. Like I love Antihero. That song was about me. I listen to that all the time. I'm not even appealing to anyone. I genuinely like Taylor Swift. I have like 6 of her songs in my liked songs.
Fuck yeah. That makes me so happy, AJ. No idea.
Oh, no.
I think you killed him.
The look of shame in your eyes. This is LA, AJ. I'm not afraid to be me anymore.
No. No.
I'm indifferent. I don't think I've listened to more than 6 Taylor Swift songs.
No.
I couldn't tell you my opinion. I'm not even gonna try to front like I have one.
I'm crying, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I got a blank space, babe, and I'll write your name.
Nice reference, dude. Dude, that's like the one that I do.
Let's get into the production of All About Eve. So the story of All About Eve originated in an anecdote related to Mary Orr by actress Elizabeth Bergner. I don't know either of those people, and I didn't research. But while performing in some play, Bergner allowed a young fan to become part of her household and employed her as an assistant, but later regretted her generosity when the woman attempted to undermine her. So this happened to my buddy Elizabeth. Like this is a real thing that happens to people.
I will put it out there. I just Googled Mary Orr and I found out that her middle name or maybe maiden name was Caswell, which is so funny because I hope that she is actually the character played by Marilyn Monroe that like just sucked and was there momentarily. I really hope that that was actually her.
I didn't even put that together. Wow.
I literally just put that together live on the podcast. That was coming out of my mouth as it was entering my brain.
We got the magic is in the air right now. 100%.
I don't even know how to go on, but yeah. So anyway, Joseph Mankiewicz of the famed Mank family of the Mank dynasty, whose sibling, brother, father wrote Citizen Kane, and whose son, grandson, or grandnephew talks about incest porn on the internet. Look it up; it's real. Joseph Mankiewicz was considering a similar story about an aging actress, and then after reading that story, he's like, okay, I'm just going to do that instead. And he sent an email, he sent a memo to Daryl F. Zanuck. They got together, they cut about 50 pages from the screenplay, and they titled it All About Eve because of the line that Addison DeWitt says. So fun fact, that line was not a title drop. The title is reflective of that line.
Whoa. I love it. It never happens that way.
I know.
So organic.
So among the actresses originally considered to play Margot Channing were Mankiewicz's original inspiration, Susan Hayward, but was rejected by Zanuck for being too young. Other actresses were Marlene Dietrich, who was dismissed as too German, and Gertrude Lawrence, who was ruled out when her lawyer insisted that she not have to drink or smoke in the film.
What? Wait, the lawyer requested that she doesn't get to smoke or drink during a shoot?
Who's this fucking dork ass lawyer?
No. Who's this dork ass fucking actor? Come on.
Yeah, if I'm that actress, I'm firing my lawyer.
Dude, I don't think I can go on. I don't think I could ever go on stage before I got if I didn't get high or drink a little bit. Like how the fuck?
That was how all the old actors used to get around. They just like do poppers and then cocaine at night. That's basically what Babylon is.
Yeah, but like, yeah, dude, I feel bad that I did that. Ooh. I'm like a Babylon reference that's somewhat like me. Gross. That's stinky, bro. That's the meanest thing you can say about somebody. Like, oh, that's a lot like that one movie, Babylon. You and that movie have something in common.
Wait, did you hate Babylon, Gabe?
No, it's a real surprise and one of my favorites of the year. What do you mean?
That was my first audition I had when I was living in LA. It was Babylon. It was just for some like random character.
And then you're like, ooh, that's stinky.
Yeah, and then I turned it down, obviously,
Of course.
because I was like,
Booked it,
dude, I don't
and
want
you
to be in
said-
fucking Babylon, you know what I mean? Anyway, dude, this is completely unrelated, but the Bette Davis's character in this really reminded me of the lead character in Sunset Boulevard.
I was wondering if anyone had seen that because I was like, okay, there's like a 99% chance Noah has. Can you cook on that? Because that's also came out the exact same year, and people always compare the two films, and I haven't seen it, even though it's a surprise and one of my favorites of the year. But yeah, cook.
I don't know. It's just mostly just that the main character has like the same exact like arc. The surrounding circumstances of it are different. Like there's like a murder story in Sunset Boulevard surrounding like the narrator, which is like really fucking cool. But in this one, like the lead is like in both of these this aging out actress who's like trying to cope with the fact that she's like not as relevant anymore. She's got a huge ego. She thinks her whole life is a movie, you know, like she's the center of attention, you know, all about Eve, you know. But yeah, instead of having like what's her name, the Eve in Sunset Boulevard, it's just like multiple, it's like all the new actresses instead of one specific actress that is replacing her.
Okay. Can I do a diatribe quick on like movies named after streets in LA?
Yeah.
Please.
Because like you know, I grew up in Iowa where I would see titles like Sunset Boulevard, Mulholland Drive, and then just like think of these fancy images. And now I'm like on the street, I'm like, oh, there's like a taco stand right there, or like in Chinatown, going through all those locations. I'm just like, oh, there's like a strip mall there now. It's really taken the magic out of the movies.
I mean, isn't it LA? It's all smoke and mirrors, anyways, right?
Dude, have you been to San Pedro yet?
I don't think so.
You should go there because the like the main filming or one of the main filming locations in Chinatown is in San Pedro. Like the cliff scene where he's like spying on the water power guy, you know.
I have driven by the high school from Greece, so that's about the extent. That's in the area. I got kicked off the Sony lot. That was about it.
I will say the Formosa Cafe holds up. That is genuinely, but only because they work to preserve the aesthetic of like, they have like all the signed pictures of all the old actors who used to go there up like along their walls. And when you walk in, it's still like low lighting and fancy. But I'm like, also there, sometimes I go there because I live on that street in like jeans and a tank top. And I'm like, wow, old Hollywood would have hated my ass.
Dude, it's so funny how they like clean up Hollywood so much when they shoot scenes in Hollywood. It's
And by that, like literally clean up. They're like pushing trash out of the way.
I know. It's like they look all sleek and like, whoa, it's Hollywood.
Some poor director's setting up a shot of the Hollywood Hills, and he's like, "Hey, we got to move the trash. Like, there's just trash in the frame, and they have to do that in between takes too, because this city, like, trash just forms around. It's like moss."
Yup. It's a dirty city.
But it's home.
Yeah. It stinks, but it's home.
Here we are.
Yeah. It's a fun city. It is not the city that this movie takes place in, and we've done a big diatribe, and I don't know whose fault that is. But after all those actresses turned it down, I'm still in the same paragraph. Zanuck favored Barbara Stanwyck, who was in a movie called The Lady Eve, coincidentally. That's a cute little screwball comedy. But she was not available. Tallulah Bankhead was considered, as was Joan Crawford.
Joan Crawford.
Of the famous feud between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. So that's interesting that Joan Crawford was offered the role before Bette Davis.
Ooh. She was
Like that's some spicy tea right there. That's some piping hot.
Yeah. It's a piping hot 1950s tea.
Ooh.
Shit, dude. I can't.
Be careful before you sip that tea, dude.
Yeah. It was kind of spicy.
Yeah.
I want to delve more into like those famous old actress feuds because I feel like they're much richer than any history with an actor.
Oh
And I'm basing this on just like general assumption. I'm painting with a very broad brush when I say this. But as I look at this background, like my eyes don't go to any of these suits.
No.
yeah. Like you said, they're very interchangeable. They're like I don't know. There's no characteristics you can point to even like create comparisons. They're just the guys of the movie.
I kind of love that though, because I feel like so many of the movies of this time were like the women, you know, like it was like these complicated like male figures, and then it was like, and 3 blondes. And I kind of love that like the women are taking the front seat in this one a little bit.
Yeah, and I will say at least the guys, stay out of the way for the most part. There's not a whole lot of like big speeches from them. The only one is when one of them pins Margot down and like screams at her and like Loki, can I say something without you all getting mad at me? Like that was kind of hot.
Maybe.
Literally the way I wrote down in my notes. Let me find it. Hang on. I want someone to hold me down, look me in my eyes, and go, "You're a beautiful and intelligent actress at the top of her career, and I love you." I was like, whoa, when that was happening. I was like, that's a thing that a man could do?
Yeah.
Yep. Sign me up for the same treatment.
Yeah, when I'm back in town, man, we can take turns.
Come on, bud. Just like
Oh my god, bro.
You guys should live stream that to the pod audience.
The podience.
Audience. Ew.
But yeah, like you were saying, Sammy, this is right around the time that like female roles really started to diminish because they were a lot more prevalent. I wouldn't say like they were super 100% how they should be depicted, but in like the 30s and 40s, you had like Katharine Hepburn, Claudia Colbert, a lot of the people we've already listed who were as equal, if not greater, stars than male counterparts. And then like the 50s, it was just like the dame who stayed home while the husband caught the alien. And then so on into like the 80s, where it's literally what is Ferris Bueller's girlfriend's name? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Ferris Bueller.
Farrah Bueller.
Farrah. That's what there's a character in the book series that he's reading right now.
Wait, what are they reading right now?
No, The Courts.
Yeah, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Iconic. Oh, I was gonna look for my copy, but I actually don't have it on the bookshelf. But Addie and I have been chatting the fuck about that.
I hear everything secondhand, so I get a lot of names and vignettes of what's happened, but I gotta be real, I couldn't really keep up with the plot. But I'm happy.
It's hard to keep up with the plot when you're reading the books. It's more you read them for the sex scene.
Oh yeah, no, Addie's definitely read those to me, and I've been sitting next to them while they're definitely reading them. And they're not listening to this podcast, that's why I'm being so revealing.
That's fucking funny.
But yeah.
So is it sex scenes and plot or plot and sex scenes?
It's sex scenes with a side of plot.
Okay, yeah.
But the plot is good if you forage your way through to get there, but it's not the point of the book, really.
It's kind of like those like character building moments in porn where you're like, okay, I need this to make this make sense, but like I know why I'm here.
Exactly.
Like, it's literally the same thing, Gabe. Wow, nail on the head.
Thanks. Yeah. That's the kind of stunning insight you can expect here in the Criteria Cast.
We need trumpets every time we say the name of our podcast. Marilyn Monroe, relatively unknown at the time, was cast as Miss Caswell, referred to by DeWitt as a graduate of the Copacabana School of Dramatic Art. That's one of those like insults that I'm not smart enough to understand. But
Monroe was like, it was so weird seeing her in like such like she's not in her final form yet, you know what I mean? She's not fully evolved, like she hasn't fully realized her like status as Marilyn Monroe, you know. It's so interesting seeing her in that like she doesn't know who she is yet type situation. I don't know, thought it was cool.
a minute to really process that it was her. I was like looking at her and I was like, well, I know Marilyn Monroe's in this movie, so this must be her. And then I was like,
but imagine, you're watching like Some Like It Hot, and then it's just like, oh, that's Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Well, I think she very much based her ongoing persona on this specific role. The like kind of naive and very breathy, like that kind of delivery. Um, and it worked, I guess. She had a good career. Or it didn't work because she didn't have a very fun career.
she did what Austin Butler is doing with Elvis right now. She said, this role is my new persona.
Dude, gosh, it's so cringe, man. Like, it's cool with Marilyn Monroe. Austin Butler's kind of cringing me out with the Elvis shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Elvis no. It's like, dude, come on, shut the fuck up.
I mean, if you look at it, it's kind of cosmically fitting that Elvis, what is he famous for? Stealing black music, is now having his voice stolen by someone. So it's just like all about Eve. It's literally.
I take it back. I'm very pro Austin Butler now.
It's just so funny to be like in your early 30s and just be like, well, I'm just gonna be Elvis now.
like a Duffin entirely.
Dude, on the inside, Austin Butler is like an overweight man who's like an alcoholic and has like a shaved ass beard, and he's like walking around in his underwear. It's like, well, I'm Elvis now. Like, I'm giving up, man. Give me a peanut butter sandwich.
I like a peanut butter sandwich is like your idea of like that's rock bottom.
I think it was more the prescription drug abuse that did Elvis in, not the peanut butter sandwiches.
Hey, peanut butter and banana. Can't forget the banana.
Peanut butter, banana, bacon, and egg.
Oh yeah, in a hollowed out loaf of bread. Oh man.
You know what actually is rock bottom is like a peanut butter sandwich with maple syrup on it, and then the two ends of the loaves. The two very far ends of the loaves.
Wow, you really
don't ask how I understand. Don't ask how I came up with this. Maybe I'm not okay right now. Okay.
I was gonna say this feels like it's an anecdote from personal experience.
No, I don't know what you mean. This is just entirely original.
We call it the Gooby. That's his own sandwich.
Have you guys been enjoying the fact that as there's one fly that flies around my head this entire podcast, every once in a while I've been going for it?
I can't say. I thought you were just like applauding us.
Great take.
Sometimes I'm just so overcome with how good the points are that you guys are making that I just feel like I have to.
You're praying. You're going, oh, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much.
So All About Eve received overwhelmingly positive reviews from critics upon its release. It went on to be nominated for 14 Academy Awards, which is tied for most amount of awards with a couple other movies. Their nominations include Best Actress for both Anne Baxter and Bette Davis, Best Supporting Actress for Celeste Holm and Thelma Ritter, Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, and Best Score. And it won for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor for George Saunders, that guy. Best Screenplay, Best Costume Design, and Best Sound Recording.
Cool. That's pretty good sweep.
That fucking sound recording though.
Dude, speaking of the sound, oh my god, dude, I had like a moment, dude, when that dude on the piano was playing Franz Liszt in that one scene. He's playing like Liebestrom, that famous piano piece, and it was just such a vibe, dude. I was losing my shit, man. I was like, oh,
Margot's
dialogue crazy.
Margot's dialogue too was kind of a vibe.
That's me when I'm driving and I put on like Last Words of a Shooting Star by Mitski for the 4th time, and Amber's like, can we not listen to this song? It's the same drive. And I'm like, no, it's good. It's nice. It's a vibe.
It helps with editing if you just have the same song playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, critics and academics have delineated various themes in the film. We've talked about some of them, aging, especially in regards to actresses of that time and present time. That's a major running theme throughout. And how did we think it was handled?
I spaced off. What's up?
Maybe we should Sammy, let's let you go first on this one. How do you think? Because this movie's written by a man, like fully, there didn't have any women on the creative team for the most part. They might have had like costume design. I know it's a shock. This is unlike Hollywood, but yeah. So as an up and coming actor yourself, how did you feel that these men handled the women characters in this movie?
Honestly, I felt like it was handled pretty solidly. If you had told me there was a woman on the writing team, I wouldn't have been like, "Oh, I don't see it." I feel like there was a lot of energy around like aging, not because of the inability to have kids or the, like not being as marriageable or anything. She was just like, my career is dying, and in 10 years when I'm 50, I will have no more career, and that's it. That's the end. And honestly, I thought it was very solid. Like a very solid. There was that one monologue where she was talking about, she was like, is he in love with Margot Channing or is he in love with me? And I don't even know the difference. And I thought that was also incredibly solid writing. Because I feel like a lot of times with acting, you're forced to adopt this like very persona, and then sometimes you lose yourself in like what is and isn't you and what's your persona. And so I thought that was really good. I thought it was very well represented. Surprisingly, I was shocked. And I honestly related to this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. I was like, oh yeah, I get it, girl. And then I was like, wow, this is from fully 1950. That is 73 years ago. I forgot what year we were in. And I feel like there's so much that they had to say that is still around and is still relevant, which is kind of tragic that the industry hasn't changed and that women are still forced to look ageless. And then as soon as they don't look ageless, they're pushed aside. And the fact that I've already thought about getting Botox at the age of fully 23 years old because I'm like, wow, I don't want to have wrinkles. I want my career to last longer.
Yeah, it's the same machine, and it's just, it always has been,
Mm-hmm.
the same thing, making the same thing. It's always going to have to survive on that, what it was built upon.
It's like, yeah, it's built on exploitation. You're gonna which is like very even obvious with the character of Eve. It's exploitation. You're taking advantage of someone else. You're the parasite that leeches on, just like the critic is a parasite on the actual performers. Everyone is just clawing at each other to get to the top. And I'm so glad that we chose this path as well.
Yeah, love it. Love being in this career path.
I'm a podcaster first.
Yeah.
He's different.
Yeah, and another thing, back to the actual subject, in regards to not just women actors, but just women in general. One of the themes that ran through it is the post-World War II environment, where it's like women have spent the last 4 years in the workforce, like I don't remember what Rosie the Riveter says, but they were the ones that were back home like working hard jobs, and then all of a sudden their husbands get back from being in war and are like, all right, go back to being a housewife. And yeah, so not only I was listening to a podcast on All About Eve and taking little pinpoints that I was going to steal, but they were talking about how no matter what, women are always going to have two jobs, like their main job, which for Margot is being an actor, and the second job is being a woman.
Yeah.
Yes, I loved that.
That was Margot didn't the character of Margot also kind of like go on about that in the car scene? That was like a very important aspect to her, like heart to heart with Karen, I think. Yeah, it was Karen.
That was a. I'm so sorry. Go for it.
No, please, Sammy, please go. we cannot be interrupting you. No, go.
Yeah, it's part of like that's the nature of it.
No, I was gonna say that that's like such a it's a very real thing, I think, is that like identifying as female, there is like a certain presentational aspect to like what society thinks a woman is. Even not just like the traditional like trad femme sense of what being a woman is, but like there's just no matter what, I feel like everybody has a concept of like the default of a person for some reason is man. And I don't know if that's maybe biblical and like God created Adam and then Eve from his rib or whatever, but like there's such an interesting wow, I went to Catholic school for 4 years and all I got from it was God created Adam and Eve from his rib or whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you. We stand together. Apes together strong.
True. But that was such like an interesting point that she was making about, I think, like the presentationalism of femininity and how like no matter what it is, because if you're a woman and you're not traditionally feminine, you're perceived as rejecting femininity, and that you're putting on like that is your performance, is that you're rejecting it. You can't just kind of exist unless you're in some way like within or without of the bounds of being a woman. And I think that was a really interesting point and very progressive for the 50s for them to point that out and say that like it's kind of another job.
Yeah, that's all we got to say. You pretty much summed it up. I think that might be that's definitely the smartest thing ever said on this podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to one up it real quick. My thoughts on being a woman is
All right, Matt Walsh.
Yeah, call me.
Fucking hate that dude. He was just at the U of I.
No, he's lecturing here.
He's like fully lecturing.
There was like a counter protest.
There was protests for Matt Walsh.
Yeah, fuck that dude. Anti Matt Walsh. I'm so sorry this has to come after the elegant speech from Sammy, but I just diatribe. I'm so fucking mad that the university I just got a degree from 2 months ago invited Matt Walsh to speak. Fuck that. Fuck the U of I.
Yeah, I want to see if I can throw a brick at his head. I might not get my degree, but I think I'll go out a hero.
I think that you should build up and put it in his car.
I think I should get and then take it out on top of a building and him.
I honestly feel like that would give you more credibility and like step up in certain than the diploma.
You don't realize I'm an economics major, so I think I'd be hindering my career.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
You'd be a legend.
I would be pretty dope though.
Dude, they'd write tales about you.
Matt Walsh, no, that's like a you should have done that a while ago.
You're right. You'd have to feel Ben Shapiro.
It's like taking out the trash, you know? Like
It'd be like the guy who finally did what everybody was kind of thinking about anyway.
Yeah.
God, I wish that were me is the headline.
About damn time.
All right, I'm putting a stop. We're not talking about that dude anymore on my podcast. God damn it.
Can I share my favorite line?
Yeah, go for it.
This isn't verbatim, but it was something along the lines of when Bette Davis is like freaking out and being an egomaniac, and one of the men who I don't remember which one it was because they look the fucking same in my memory. One of them was like, "You need to learn that," or "You need to learn that the piano did not write the concerto."
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh yeah,
it was a sick ass,
such a good metaphor, dude."
Yeah.
In all fairness, he is a writer. That should be something he would say.
That was just so good, man. Oh my God.
From that same scene, I think my favorite burn from that scene was when he was like, "You'd better stick to whatever playwrights," he said. He was like, "They've been dead for hundreds of years." And she was like, "All playwrights should be dead for hundreds of years." As somebody who is an actor and a playwright, that spoke very deeply to me on both sides of the argument.
Oh, so you were just insulted in every exchange.
Yeah, I was getting wrecked throughout this movie. I love how much this movie ripped on the industry that I am so firmly a part of. They were like, "Fuck you," and I was like, "You're right."
Dude, I felt like Max, where I'm just kind of sitting there like, "Yep, all right, all right, all right."
Yeah. Max's accent. Ooh, can I do like a very quick sidebar on? I'm fluent in French, and the amount of like horrific French shit that happened in this movie, Max's question mark French accent, and then also the fact that at one point, one of the what's her name? The blonde one, Karen, was like, She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave. And then she went day trop, and I had to Google because I wasn't sure if she was talking about like the French expression de trop, which means like useless, like not important. But I was like, I think that's what she's going for. But the pronunciation
trop.
with which that woman said it, I was like, I have to object. She went day trop, and I was like,
Dude, she went day trop, and then Sammy went sacre bleu.
Hon.
Now I have a professor right now that's French, and dude, one time I walked into his office and he just starts speaking French to me, and I'm like, "The fuck are you doing?" I didn't say that. I'm like, "Excuse me," and he goes, "Oh, I was in a French interview," and I'm like, "No, you bullshit. You just wanted to flex. You're just trying to be like, I speak French." I'm like, I know."
everybody who speaks French, and I include myself in this blatantly, is incapable of not bringing it up at some point within like the first interaction you have with it.
It's like one of the best languages.
It's
ever.
one of the cooler
It's
languages.
cool,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm
Like,
so jealous, yeah.
like speaking Spanish is like, oh, okay, cool, like whatever, but like speaking
Very
French,
useful. Let's not get like it's very
no,
useful.
dude, I've gotten so much use out of it, but like speaking French is cool.
No, I know what you mean. I mean, I definitely like aesthetically prefer French to Spanish, but like Spanish is definitely like super fucking useful.
Here, yeah.
What,
Spanish
here?
is way more useful. I picked French when I was in high school because I was like, I think people will think this is sexy. And if that doesn't say like everything about me wanting to be an actor.
No.
It's like,
I picked,
that's valid.
I picked French too, and then I flunked it, and I was like, well, this language sucks. It's not me. It couldn't be me.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone who performs in a musical should have to learn French. Or fuck it, anyone who's ever been on a stage should have to just know French, have it in their back pocket, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's why I think like opera is kind of funny sometimes, because motherfuckers just like this. There's no way the singer understands what they're saying, dude. It's like singing some like.
Well, unless they're like Italian, they're singing in Latin. That one's pretty close. That's pretty.
But like if we're talking like oh my god, dude, we're talking like young people like just out of high school studying opera in college.
Oh yeah, those people. Come on, like what the fuck is that? That's not a degree.
I mean, maybe they do.
Studying
opera
at university.
And she was that I used to live with, and she was I think sometimes she knew what she was saying, but I don't think it was an every song type of thing. I think for like important performances, she would like go through and learn the translation, but for the most part, she'd get like a general idea of what the song was about. Be like, okay.
Yeah, so see, that's what I thought. It was like, I don't know.
I love singing in Latin because like you can just be like, Pie Jesu, it's Jesus. That's Cristo. That's Jesus again.
Dominus
Dominus Dio. Oh God! Oh, what a fucking twist!
Dominus Deo regabit.
So hard to follow what's going on there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maria. Okay,
Maria, I've just met a girl named.
AJ, were you in choir that year that Mr. Barry made us sing Hava Nagila?
Yeah, I was in concert with you boys.
You're like Chava Nagila Chava. He was like, you need to say it like this. Chava Nagila. He made it. He's like, it's in the throat. It's in the throat. Yeah.
Honestly, I remember that being lit because we did all those stupid ass songs about Jesus that were all super boring, and we finally do one that's like actually got a beat to it.
No, Hava Nagila is good. I just didn't know what the fuck we were singing about. Is what I'm trying to say.
That he did.
Yeah.
All right, y'all want some trivia about Eve?
I really do.
All right. So Bette Davis fell in love with her co-star Gary Merrill, which is either him or him, during the shooting of this movie, and the two married in July 1950, a few weeks after filming was completed. They adopted a baby girl whom they named Margot after the character. However, they did divorce later on for pretty much like word for word the same reason Margot's having trouble in the movie, is that they fell in love with the characters, not the performer.
Fucking what the fuck, dude?
devastated about that. AJ, you just made me so happy and then so sad in immediate sequence.
Oh, stop
He
it,
giveth,
you.
he taketh away.
Stop it, you.
But yeah, that fucking sucks. I always wonder with like people who date super famous actors and they're like not how that works. Like imagine like what's going on. Have you guys seen Sydney Sweeney is like filming a rom-com with one of the Top Gun guys?
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, it's like how if you're either their partners do you look at that and like how does that not cause trouble?
I don't think it doesn't. I think it does. Taylor
Yeah.
Swift and Joe Alwyn just broke up because she's too famous for him.
I mean,
Dude.
yeah.
Fucking
Sorry, it was one too many Taylor Swift references. I'll put them away for the rest.
You can break them out. Don't let these guys bully you. You can break them out.
I'm indifferent. Like I don't give a fuck. Like you're gonna make a reference and be like, fucking yeah, cool.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, but like Glenn, I feel like Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney are like essentially like they feel conservative. I know they're not, but they look. I don't know.
Well, didn't Sydney Sweeney got in trouble? You tell
The
it.
MAGA hats.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just look like the poster children for like the alt-right movement, you know?
Dude, Sydney, whatever her political
I don't know,
affiliation
man.
is, Sydney Sweeney is apparently like a really cool person. She, I don't remember who it was, but someone was telling me that they knew someone who like found her like broken down on the side of the road or whatever, and then they
Kicked
like
her.
they helped her like get her car fixed or something, and then she took him out to dinner and shit, and like I don't know, just like a normal person.
That's cool.
That's nice.
Upon learning that he had cast Bette Davis, one of her former directors, Edmund Golding, rang up Joseph L. Mankiewicz and warned him that she would grind him down into a fine powder. This was a reference to her on-set behavior, not the least of which was rewriting her dialogue. The warning proved to be unnecessary, however, since Davis knew better than to mess with Mankiewicz's script, and they had a good time.
Cool.
Maybe it's just the direct.
Yeah, true. Like, I didn't look into Edmund Golding, but what's this fucking dude compared to Bette Davis? Like, come on, who are you?
Yeah, he's one of those like random directors.
He looks like a guy.
I mean,
As so many of them do.
yeah. So do all the guys in that picture. So
Again, I try to remember, like if I didn't have that, I just can't picture them in my mind. Like I can picture Bette Davis, but if I try to remember what any of them look like, it's like all three of them are like morphed together.
So I
in my
think
head.
Eve looks. Oh, you mean the guys? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought Eve's character and actress kind of look a little bit like Florence Pugh for some reason.
Oh, I totally see that.
A bit, yeah.
I see that. Well, it's like the downturned mouth thing.
Down to the mouth and it's very like I don't know, sharp and angular jawline where it's kind of like I don't know what's it called.
Wide, like a wide jaw.
A bit, but it also has a taper. I don't know. Pointed chin. It reminds me of
Dude,
her.
you shouldn't have said that on the internet. Now there's gonna be a fucking biopic.
I think there already is actually. I think it's something
with Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
I think Florence Pugh is like in the right age to play Eve, like were they to do this movie again, which I don't think they need to. It works just as well now, but like Florence Pugh could be a good Eve.
That's true for every remake though, right?
Who would be her Margot, who's like around the same age?
Anne
Fucking Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Or
what about Anne Hathaway?
Maybe.
Oh my god. What? Yes, Gabe, that's it. Yes.
Yeah. Or like Reese Witherspoon in a breakout dramatic turn for her.
I don't think Reese has that.
Jennifer Connelly.
But,
Jennifer Connelly. Because she's also like super mean in real life. So it kind of makes sense.
This holds the record for the most female acting Oscar nominations in the film with 4. Yeah, we snap. Good for them. And neither of the two boyos got nominated. He's an honorary girly.
Good.
Biggest queen on screen, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only one who won, and I'm thinking it's because he's the meanest.
He really did do it though. Like he did that character justice. He said, I'm gonna suck for 2 hours and 18 minutes, and he did.
But also,
He was the heavy.
he's gonna have like a total of 6 scenes, and he's gonna fucking eat on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Queen, you ate.
Co-star Celeste Holmes spoke about her experience with Bette Davis on the first day of shooting. I walked onto the set on the first day and said, "Good morning." And do you know her reply? She said, "Oh shit, good manners." I never spoke to her again, ever.
How is that offensive? Like, I don't get how that's offensive.
Years later, Bette Davis said in an interview, "Filming All About Eve was a very happy experience. The only bitch in the cast was Celeste Holmes."
Yeah.
So casually, I bet.
I know, it's so blunt.
I love the blatancy with which older actors in Hollywood are like, "I've made it. I'll say it."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not as many repercussions to their career if they're just like, "She's a hack. She's awful. I hate her."
Orson
Like,
Welles, the king.
oh, he's the goat of insults. But imagine if, like, modern day, if Ryan Reynolds just started being like, fuck The Rock.
Well, nobody cares what Ryan Reynolds thinks because, like, he
Yeah.
sucks.
No, but if someone was like, "Fuck The Rock," it'd be like, "Well, yes, obviously." Like,
Be like,
fuck this
yeah.
guy. He's ruined. He's just like he's like injected himself into so many franchises.
Yeah, like Ryan Reynolds,
Like,
shut up, but like,
like-
you're right, dude.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, have you seen his phone commercial ads?
Yes.
Yes,
Never-
the Mint Mobile ones.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck is that?
It's a no from me.
I mean,
Nope.
just kidding, Ryan Reynolds. If you're listening to this and you want to cast me in something and now you're thinking you don't, I don't endorse this.
Hey, Ryan
Right.
Reynolds, my ball, my bigger one.
Guys, I'll take the heat for this one, y'all LA motherfuckers. I'm starting the Ryan Reynolds hate. Target me.
Yeah, he's my nice Hollywood friend, so I can't say anything bad about him.
Right now, it's like me and Gabe hate Ryan
Dude,
Reynolds.
AJ really wants to get
just
like,
us.
He just wants to get cast of was it Deadpool 3?
That would make my night. Like, I couldn't be a serious actor because I would only take ironic movies. Like, I wanted to be on Young Sheldon so bad. That was gonna be my Star is Born moment. Like, I would have peacocked in front of the director, be like, "Hey, so Young Sheldon, what about Middle Sheldon?" And then I would pitch my script that I've been writing for years. Bazinga.
Is it just a guy that wears like turtlenecks in junior high?
Yeah.
Dude, I think the most legendary thing we could have gotten you on would be Joker 2.
Oh, Noah, did you listen to the last episode? Deckard knows someone who got kicked off the set of Joker 2.
Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently his friend's friend was getting too close to Lady Gaga, so she got kicked off the set of Joker 2.
That's crazy.
Can't say I'm, are we surprised though? Like, like Lady Gaga seems like a steaming pile of shit.
I can't guarantee I wouldn't pull some shit like that. Like, that was one of my favorites, is getting right up to the line. Sammy, did you ever do, like, background work or anything?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And I was on one where Adrian Brody was, like, feet away, so I'm just imagining if I had Lady Gaga or Joaquin Phoenix there in Joker makeup, like, I couldn't be responsible for whatever thing I yelled or what motion I made.
It's like, well, it's just not your fault. I mean,
Yeah! Bette Davis filmed all of her scenes in 16 days.
That was the most impressive thing in that trivia list, was like it just like knocked that shit out. Perfect performance. She must have done like 1 or 2 takes, right? 16 days.
Yes, especially with how long it was to like set up takes back then, because there wasn't like the digital aspect. Like, their shit was heavy back then.
Yeah, wasn't it you got like 8 minutes and then you had to reload the film?
Yeah.
Like,
that's still a pretty long time.
I'm just imagining, she seems like one of those that would like, "I showed up knowing my lines already." Like, that, she strikes me as that.
Yeah.
She's like, "What do you need another take? That one was perfect."
Yeah. She was.
"Oh, you're saying you need another take? Because I definitely don't." Like, that kind of,
Yeah.
I just,
I fuck with that energy though, it's like I fuck with a consummate professional.
Yeah, that's like the you're the GOAT and you know it type thing. Like, you're the best and you know it. It's kind of like.
all right, so I was gonna try going forward not to mention Family Guy on this podcast because we try to have intelligent conversation. But I would be remiss not to talk about the season 20 episode All About Alana, which is almost a beat for beat remake / parody of All About Eve, in which Lois is the Margot character and Eve is played by Elizabeth Gillies as Lois's piano student.
Word.
So what you're telling me is that I unknowingly foreshadowed
Mm-hmm.
this full circle moment.
God damn. You gave us an arc.
I did.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just had to mention it because I don't know. I'm just like that.
AJ, ask the question.
What?
Ask the question.
Oh, who would play who? I mean, I know. I saw the episode. I know who plays who they cast
I
as who.
know, but we know. I haven't seen that episode. We could.
Stewie's the critic guy. Lois was
Yeah.
Margot. Any of these
Yeah.
men can be any of the Family Guy men.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
All right.
Yeah,
I just when I think I'm out, they bring me back in.
That's how they get you.
That and like when they're in like the fucking bottom part of a TikTok. That's how they get you.
That is how they get you.
Despite their characters' tense relationship on screen, Bette Davis and Ann Baxter got along very well during filming. The studio tried to play that all up during filming, recalled Baxter. But I liked Betty very much. She'd come on the set and go "Sss" at me, but it was just a joke between us.
No, it's just a joke. It's just a joke.
Dude, if someone came in and hissed at me, I don't know what I would do.
Not a joke. There is no way that Bette Davis is joking. I am 100% convinced that Bette Davis was so serious. And Baxter was like, ha ha, ha ha, right, Betty? Ha ha. And she was like, "Sss."
No one's ever hissed ironically. You know? That's not an ironic thing to do. You just go, that's a full commitment.
Yeah, she's definitely trying to like convince herself that it was a joke because it's not a good look to be disliked by someone as like renowned as Bette Davis. Have someone like that talking shit about you.
Yeah. Bette Davis also seems like the kind of person to hiss. And not in like comedic way.
What a wild thing to do, just hissing at people.
Like those anime kids in high school who just like
That's dude,
I feel like the only appropriate response is you get like a liquid and throw it at them.
I have a story that can be on or off the record it's related to like the hissing and the sounds conversation that we were having right before AJ went off the record. One time, it's tangentially related, but it's kind of funny. One time in high school, I had this boyfriend, and one time we were making out and he pulled back and meowed at me. Like unironically, like not not sexy, like just
meow.
Yo.
Like not like that, like a realistic meow.
Like a
Yeah. And I like stopped and I was like, what am I doing right now?
How long did it take you to break up with it?
Yeah, did you dump him on the spot?
Yeah.
As you should have?
I had invested time into the relationship and then he cheated on me, so I didn't even break up with him. He cheated.
Oh.
Cheat on you?
I was 15 and no, I was 16 and I was very confused.
He was just an alley cat.
He was, but I did date him for like 5 more months.
Oh my, did he meow again?
No, he never meowed again. He knew that I did not like it. I was like, I have to leave. Got my shit and ran out of his house.
I'm just curious, is the implication here that he's like a furry or something? Is that like what he is? Or is he just like being like strange?
I don't think he's a furry.
He's just different.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's do some 1-star reviews.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So this comes from an account called Jamie Nicholson. They say this ... hasn't aged well.
What?
I feel like it did, but carry on.
I know. That's why I'm trying to get to what they even think didn't age well. I was like trying to think, was there a scene in blackface I was just forgetting? Like what didn't age well? This seems like way ahead of its time.
No, this is I don't know how. Yeah, there's not even like a like. That's just I don't know. Anyway, yeah, let's get to something that has some meat to it. That's just annoying me.
What's new? There's
Is there
something
anything
John
else?
said on Letterboxd.
It was just this doesn't age well. There was no follow-up.
Yeah, no. These are all taken from Letterboxd, so it's just random Yahoos. It's not like professional. That wasn't like Roger Ebert.
Although I would love if Roger Ebert was like bad.
Yeah, this is actually Pauline Kael who said it was shit ass garbage.
That's fun. Like one of Ebert's best reviews is just bad.
I think Letterboxd
Pass.
is making me like more angry than like pretty much anything else in my life. Just like there's nothing else that I can like read that makes me more angry than a Letterboxd comment section on a really good movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's brutal. The worst takes.
I'm chained to that website. It's my go-to.
I haven't used it in a minute. I want to get back on.
Yeah, I've been missing your reviews, man.
Yeah, I just keep like watching shit and then I'll be like with someone or like I don't know.
And you can't let them know that you're on Letterboxd.
Like he pulls up Letterboxd midday and it's like she just leaves.
There's like 3 things I only ever talk to people I fully trust, and it's Letterboxd, this podcast, and Criterion. So if I've ever mentioned any of those to you, it's because I really trust you.
Wow.
Like I'm not just doing that to strangers on the street or coworkers where I'm like, well, you know, the Criterion collection.
Yeah. It's like it's a disease, you know.
All right, this comes from an account called Jennifer Castles. They say, utter garbage, a lack, if any, discernible story, as well as unlikable, outright awful character, would no watch.
Okay.
But they did watch, if they're giving the review.
Would no watch.
Oh my god, okay, let's move on, because this next review is so strange. I had to pull it out. So this is from an account called Last Search. One of their tags says Babylon, and the review is, didn't expect less from a Polish woman.
Whoa, weird anti-Polak stuff going on here. What the hell is that?
What?
I don't know. I didn't look up. Is Bette Davis Polish? I don't know.
So they expected more.
Dude, what year is this? Who's still anti-Polish in this day and age? It's such a 1950. They should love this movie because it's such a 1950s bigot.
I was gonna say, what is this fucking West Side Story?
What the fuck?
He's a Polak. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Bette Davis was born in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Polish.
Eve's Polish.
Is Eve Polish?
Eve's
And
Polish.
Baxter?
Eve something.
One of those motherfuckers talking in the transatlantic accent, I'm sure, is fucking Polish.
No, it's Eve. They mentioned her real name, which has a Polish surname, and it's like,
Eve.
what a weird fucking thing to get hung up on is the one mention of Eve's real last name, which is Polish.
Yeah.
I like to think they were sitting there stewing, not like really understanding why they didn't like this movie. Like something's not right, and all of a sudden they mention like Eve Kowalski, and he's like, I knew it.
Oh,
I
there
knew
it is. They waited till the second last scene. They're like, "Oh, that's why."
Dude, how they get like? They had such strong Polish radar. Like, I didn't know that there was like a Polish person in them. I didn't even think about that.
That is such.
How did they notice that? They were looking out for it, dude.
That is such a throwback kind of bigotry where they're like, "Fucking, like, dude, who's bigoted against Polish people in this day and age? What the fuck?"
They're like watching every movie. They're like, hope there aren't any goddamn Poles. It's like,
Yeah.
I see one goddamn Polak. I swear to God, man. Yeah.
I'm just imagining an alternate universe, and I'm going to cut this, but an alternate universe where Kanye goes on rants about Polish people instead. I'm going to declare DEFCON 3 on the Polish people.
remember Death.
Oh yeah, DEFCON 3.
Which honestly, I mean, if you consider the trajectory of like World War II, it's like pretty like on brand still for a Nazi.
Wait, quick. Who's a modern Polish actor? Fucking Adrian Brody.
Is he? I don't know. Sure.
I was trying to see who he would make the Jonah Hill comments about if it was like a Polish person. I watched fucking Wes Anderson movie, and I like Polish people again. I watched Adrian Brody in Grand Budapest Hotel, and I like the Poles again, man.
All right, so this review comes from an account called Easy Money Hunt. You said, I was really attracted to Bette Davis for every second of this. I know that's not her part, but fuck, I found it hot.
Fair? Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. Why do you give it a low review? His review sounded...
What's this weird shame he feels? Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know it's not her part. Oh, God.
I can't. I must say Chase. All About Eve gave him impure thoughts. I'm gonna comment on this dude. Say, hey man, are you okay? You want to talk?
No, just be like, don't be ashamed. You can be attracted to MILFs. There's really a whole genre of porn dedicated to that. It's a real king.
Gabe with the porn facts.
Yeah, dude.
One of the episode.
Just do what you know. Like talk about what you know.
Oh God.
That's why you're on the
That's
podcast.
at least the third or fourth time you've brought up something related to porn.
And
genre.
it's not the last either. Just give me a minute. I'll wait for my moment. I'm not gonna force it. It's gonna come up again.
Call it how you see it, man.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last review comes from an account named Jeshuam, and they said, I had gas while watching this.
Well, that's your fault, dude.
You should have shit your pants.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I love that. I love that I know that. I wonder if they were like, my gas was because of this movie, or it was just like unrelated and they were like, I had a bad time, 1 star.
Yeah, Bette Davis just gave me gas.
Hey AJ, can you comment? Take a Pepto-Bismol and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you got gas, I guess maybe he's trying to paint a picture like, hey, this was my viewing experience. That's kind of important to do as a critic, so you know where you're coming from. And yeah, I'm glad that they were upfront about it. Hopefully they give it a rewatch, maybe without drinking a lot of dairy before.
Yeah, that shit makes you toot.
These guys are practicing the whip.
All right, on that note, let's do some final thoughts. Let's start with our guest, Sammy.
Final thoughts. I'm looking at my this is so off topic, but I guess this is the topic. I thought it was interesting that she was like, if equity won't do anything about this. I had like a whole moment where I was like, whoa, equity used to be for the people. Equity would protect the actors. That was crazy. And then I'll leave you with my favorite quote from the movie, which was when one of the guys, couldn't tell you which one, walked up and said, the general atmosphere is very Macbethish. What has or is about to happen?
That was awesome.
That was cool.
That was like my second favorite quote of the... Oh, man. That was...
Honestly,
yeah.
The whole little soiree was kind of one of the better sequences in the entire film.
Yeah.
That was a dope one.
That was really solid. And that's what I'll leave you with. Those were my thoughts. I loved it. I thought it was a really good time. Like I said, I'm sure everyone has gotten the message. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very ahead of its time. And yeah.
Quick question. Did you take Macbeth seriously when you're doing like theater and stuff?
I actually do. That is the first time that I've said the Scottish play in like years, and it was only because I really felt that the quote needed to be delivered to get across. But
yeah, does it count if you're quoting someone else?
No.
All right.
We used to just like play like the penis game, but
we were such fucking shitty like high school boys about that. Like
just like
I would have lost my mind if I
would have hated this. You would have fucking
at one point though, like one time somebody said it, and then so I was always the person in my theater that was like, you have to go outside and like spit over your shoulder and be invited back in, like whatever the rituals were about it.
Yeah.
And one time somebody did it and then they wouldn't do it, and then This was like my end of my sophomore year. One time somebody did it and then they were like, no, I'm not gonna go out. Like, whatever, it's stupid, it's not real. And that night, the psych fell down. Like, fully, the psych curtain fell down and almost killed somebody in the cast. Like, it crashed down behind them while they were on stage. And I literally stopped on stage. We were like doing like a spring concert or something. And I turned to the guy that had done it and I went,
Oh,
just like so loudly on stage. And everybody else was like, and so from then on, my theater guild was strong believers in that.
shit. Dude, AJ, we're playing with fire, man.
I know that would be. I believe in.
Could have like killed so many people.
I see it now. That'd be me if that happened.
Yeah,
we were just little shits about it. We were annoying, like, you know, name redacted was over in the corner, like, be like, don't say that, come on. And we're just like, Macbeth.
If some people, yeah,
pretending as if we are above these fucking theater traditions, us being on drama board, like we're cool. We're not into this stupid theater. Yes, we're coming to the board meeting next Thursday.
Yeah, we were such assholes, dude. It was pretty funny.
That's like kind of what high school boys in theater are, though. You're either like a theater guy or you're an asshole. There's not really like a neutral theater.
Both. We were like both, though. Like we were total theater guys.
Well, the thing is, though, that the assholes are also theater guys. They just hide it.
Yeah. We're just ashamed of our emotions. So ironic as actors, you know.
I will enter a third kind of guy you can be in theater in high school, and that is jock.
Yes, jock who has been bullied into it by girlfriend or teacher.
Yeah.
We got one of them on the podcast right now.
I fucking love it. Yeah, that's
Who
right.
could that be?
Gabe was a jock.
Who could that be?
Yeah.
Gabe was the Troy Bolton of City High.
Present that statement, sir. I'm a thespian.
A thespian. God, that's another thing. The fucking thespian festival. Oh boy.
Dude,
Wait, did you guys go to the International Fest? Sorry. That was
we went to the state thespian festival.
We weren't international.
And
That's so
oh man, we were such little stinkers the whole time. Just the whole time.
I went to International Thespian Festival all 4 years, not to flex. But and I know, crazy. You guys are like really on with a celebrity right now. I don't know if you knew that. And I was monstrous at those. I was horrific. I was like one of those, because I don't know if you know this about those festivals, but they had like parties every night, like but they were like sponsored by the festival. So they were like little like school dances basically, but they were like insanely horny. And I would like go to them and I would be like, wow, I'm gonna pull so many like guys tonight. And I did, but there were always men. By pulling guys, I meant that like men would try to dance with me and like grind on me, and I'd be like, no thanks, I'm dancing with my girls tonight.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What is I don't know. Sorry. I don't know. That was my visceral reaction.
It's the only acceptable visceral reaction. It was horrific. I look back now and there's like not a thing that I like cringe more at my past about than how I acted in Lincoln, Nebraska for a week every summer.
Hey, if you trust me, we understand how you feel.
Yeah,
all right.
You'll have one of those.
AJ, remember when we were like watching like that shitty ass production of like 12th Night or whatever, and then we were just so bored. Like
we got shushed a lot at like theater festivals because we would laugh like pretty heavily.
It's funny, dude. I'm sorry.
I used to fall asleep in the audience if I didn't like the show, and my theater teacher would always be like, wake the fuck up, and I'd be like, oh, if it's good, I'll stay awake.
Yeah, that happened during 12th Night. Addie and I kept switching shoulders to sleep on.
I love that.
Yeah.
But also, if it wasn't supposed to, like, if I'm not supposed to laugh, then it shouldn't be funny, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Like if it causes me to laugh, it's inherently funny.
Well, dude, what do
Like-
they fucking expect when they're doing Shakespeare and they're going all, oh, to be or not to be? You know what I mean? It's just like, dude.
I mean, how are you supposed to deliver it?
Chill the fuck out, dude.
Yeah, how else was this
I
gonna
think
deliver
there's
that
a
line?
way, man.
Hey, to be and not to be. Hey, what do you want from me?
But you get what I mean, man. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just over the top sometimes.
No, I totally understand.
You know.
This is good. We're connecting over our shared theater history. This is the perfect movie for this whole conversation.
Dude, I miss
Yeah.
it sometimes.
I feel that.
It's fun, dude. We should do a theatrical production or something. I don't know.
Oh, you know I got them cooking. I got like 10 where I'm like, okay, Addie, within the next year, I'm going to make you and all your friends be in this play.
Dude, you're writing plays. Sick.
Yeah, I should. I mean, yeah, that's why not? I got stuff going on, but yeah, we'll cook. All right, you two, what did you think? You two on the couch. Final thoughts.
Give me gas. Give me gas, guy. Nah, it was a great movie. It really was. It was a good pick, AJ. All right, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the Machiavellian scheming that Eve would have fuck. But what a lovable fuck, you know. I should rephrase that. What a person you love to hate, you know.
There we go.
And then hate fuck, you know.
All right, enough of this guy.
I
No,
can't help it.
I'm cutting your mic.
Joker
Oh,
laugh.
shit. Anyways, it was a great movie. You should watch it. If you don't and you don't like it, you're Addison DeWitt.
I guess it's me then. To echo a lot of things you guys said, I think it's really cool that, well, first of all, I didn't know what this movie was like about before I watched it. And so I was like, wait, is she creepy? Is she, because she was so like normal. So I was like deceived like everyone else was when I was like getting to know Eve, you know? It's like, she's creepy, right? Did the writers just like unintentionally make her like kind of creepy? Oh, no. She's creepy. You know what I mean? And that was cool. That was cool. I was like, all right, okay, cool. They like ease you into it. And like I said earlier, I really like it when there are like retellings of like the core of what a story is about, not the actual story. You know what I mean? Like the double and shit, and like the doppelganger story. I love like archetypal stories. I think that's really cool, man. And they did a good adaptation of it, and it was cool. I enjoyed it. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Word. All right, now me. Yeah, final thoughts. Great movie, 5 stars. Sammy, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, for allowing us to have a smart thought on here for once and providing insight that we would not normally get to have. Do you have anything to plug?
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram at Samantha Georgette Reed. That's SAMANTHAGeorgettereed. Also, you could follow my production company that I run with my co-founder / roommate / platonic wife. That's called Archetypes Productions, which is at Archetypes. Oh my God, is it Archetypes Original Productions or is it Archetypes Productions? What's the at?
I'll put whatever it is in the description.
All right, it'll be in the description. And keep an eye out for Nora Claremont Kills the President. That is a killer movie that is coming soon. It's premiering at the International Cannabis and Hemp Film Festival, and AJ designed the poster for it.
I did.
Dude, you were with Nora Claremont. I follow them on Instagram.
What?
I didn't know you were with Nora Claremont. I follow
You
them.
follow them on Instagram? Fuck yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's sick as fuck. Cool. Bet I will be watching it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amber is literally Nora Claremont. We gotta get Amber on the pod too. She'd be
Amber
fun.
is Nora Claremont. I am a middle-aged FBI agent.
Sick.
Addie
I
plays a park ranger.
Addie plays a park ranger.
Typecast. I know, right? I was first. I did it first.
Yeah, I know. You saw the potential, dude.
Yeah, I typecast them as park ranger.
Andrew Rowley was the audition tape.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not allowed to include it in the reel. But Yeah, be back next week. I think we're covering Solaris or Solaris. I believe Jaren's the guest. And if he doesn't come on, then thanks for making me a liar, Jaren. And yeah, follow us on all of our stuff. I'm never good at wrapping these up. We'll see you at the movies. Bye.